in terms of learning the craft and learning the tools to be able to finesse the art in itself, or just changing the mediumship, I guess,
Yeah.
from dance to paint on a canvas, what was that internal dialogue like for you, overcoming the aspects of judgment from?
It was a long time ago. It is hard to overcome imprinted judgment that we all have when we receive it when we are little. I'm still trying to overcome judgmental remark that my music teacher gave me when we were singing. We have actually album of songs already, Richie and I. I don't do only paintings, we do music. I write the lyrics and he makes the songs, and it took me some time to get singing it actually because I was really shy. We all have those memories of childhood where somebody said something. It didn't even have to be meant as something bad, or the person didn't think that the child will remember it at all.
Yes.
But so we have to be mindful when we talk to children
Absolutely.
about things like that.
Well,
because it was so long ago, that helps a lot. But also because I wasn't actually doing it for anybody to see it. I was doing it for myself. And the reason why I overcame that, probably because I was creating these paintings, first of all, to live in them, to live in that world. I saw Richie's paintings, I saw my daughter do her painting, and I wanted to live in that world. And while you are creating a painting or while you are creating a drawing, you live in the world. You are creating. If you don't invite somebody to come and tell you that this head is too big, or,
yes.
the leaf is not supposed to be green and not blue, then they have nothing to do there. So, if you are just solitarily creating your own world that you can live in and have your fantasies flow around, then it's perfect. All you have to do is overcome yourself to be with yourself and be comfortable with yourself. If you're not creating it for somebody, sometimes it is tough when you have a commission work to do. You kind of have to take into account that other person. But if you're not doing the commission work, you're doing just your own creation, then you just have to become comfortable enough to be with yourself.
Yes.
And I'm perfectionist, do and redo some things until it was perfect with me. So if it was flowing with me, I was fine.
Do you think that's a spin-off, possibly, from your dancing days?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I would perfect things. And yes, it is very much spin-off that. And as I said, I like flowing things. Everything has to kind of flow together as if it was dancing on a canvas.
Right.
So basically, I just changed the medium.
You did, absolutely, absolutely. And I love that. I love that piece that you shared, living in your world as you create whatever it is, be it a choreographed piece of dance or lyrics, music, art, a drawing, or even a doodle at the side of the page. It's your little world that you're living, residing in for that moment.
And you can share afterwards.
Yes.
It's always challenging. Because what if people say they don't like it? Is it going to change your perspective and change your relationship within that piece with you? That's kind of challenging occasionally.
Yeah.
It's the scary part. First of all, we all should create just for the creation and to be with ourselves in that creative way. We came here to create love, first of all. We didn't come here to destroy or to just consume.
What was it that gave you the realization, put you in the space of, I want to say, unconditional love for yourself and for others? Was there a certain situation that happened, or was it just from the back and forth of travel?
I think everything that he created that. Really, I was raised in a very loving family. My mom, two sisters, so we were 4 women living together. A loving grandma and loving aunt. There was lots of love around. Also, as a child, as we all do as children, I believed in that one love of your life that comes to you kind of at night. in shining armor
Mm-hmm,
on a
mm-hmm.
white horse. We all believe and fantasize about that as children because it's right. That's the truth of it. This is what we came here to find, spread around, and to give.
Mm-hmm.
We forget it as we go along. We forget it many times. We forget it forever. And we feel like we are hurt because we didn't find it. But really, where it is inside. And if we don't find it inside, then we can't receive it because you can't receive what you don't have already inside.
That's right.
Did I carry that throughout my life? Perhaps sometimes I felt a little sorry for myself, but I didn't like that place. Mm-hmm. Not a very happy place to be if you feel sorry for something that is not going your way and you would blame somebody else for it. Much happier to just bring out of that and take it as part of life, and then you can be happy again. Love.
I love that. I love how you describe to come back to that place of self-love, come back to that place of really digging in your own well, finding your own space of love, wisdom that resides within you.
It's not that easy in a way. It's kind of easy from where I stand right now. But it's not that easy. I mean, in my life, there were some very tragic things that happened, very hard things, but where I could not look further than today because tomorrow was too scary to look at.
Yes.
So I just took it one day at a time.
Yeah. I meant you describe it so easily. You know, everybody comes with some challenges to overcome.
Definitely, we all do.
That's right. And it's such a beautiful story and a message that you're sharing of we all have them, but we can make a conscious choice through the awareness that we have within ourselves, be it an art piece or be it just listening to that inner voice of how does it feel? What does it feel like to be in that victim and negative space in your body? And you made a conscious choice as to, I don't like what that victim feels like. And
it has to be conscious choice because it's much easier, actually, like looking at people around. You know, you see it all the time, every day. It's much easier to slip into that mode where you feel like this is happening to me and woe is me. Yes. It is very easy, and it's really hard to get out. It's easier to slip in. There's so much trauma in the world that it's so hard to be happy despite that. If we're not going to take the best of it, of what the world has to offer, then we are just going to be unhappy. So.
What is it that brings you back to center? That we live in an environment that has some pretty traumatic and toxic emotions and feelings and situations that happen. What is your practice, or maybe a couple of things you'd like to share that brings you back to your center, your loving space of Brona?
I like to watch fairy tales.
Okay.
That's one quirk on the side.
I love that.
Everybody knows about me. So I never watch scary movies. I saw one time in my life, and unwillingly and unwantingly, I saw a horror movie, and that scarred me for life, I think. And since then, I do not like watching any kind of scary movies. Detective story with a little bit of tension is okay. Why is it it's too much fighting? I prefer fairy tales. My happy place is I put a fairy tale on, and then I create.
Nice.
When I am in that space of creation, I am centered. And I can think of many different things when I'm doing that. Many times I put a movie on or fairy tale on or Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, is that you enjoy the Star Trek?
Yeah, I watched that many times.
Oh, is that right? That's interesting.
Yeah, and because I already know the story, you know the characters, so it's easy to just listen to while I paint.
That's interesting. Yeah. So what would be one of your most favoritable fairy tales?
Definitely, and my family knows about this. It's a Czech version of Cinderella.
Okay.
Yes, there's just one Czech version of Cinderella.
All right.
I'm not going to even say the name of it because it's in Czech.
Okay.
But Czech version of Cinderella, and it's a beautiful story where the Cinderella, she fights back a little bit, let's say.
Okay, all right. So she's a little more real, let's say.
A little more real, but she has 3 hazelnuts that give her clothing, miraculously contain clothing. So she gets those miracle 3 hazelnuts. And that's the story of Cinderella. And that's such a beautiful story. And it's like romantic in the snowy forest. The Christmas movie that everybody knows from Christmas in
You're right.
Czechoslovakia, or the old Czechoslovakia.
Really takes you back to your own roots, right? In Slovakia. Yes.
Yeah, especially since it's beautiful. It has beautiful music, and it's kind of like me because, well, more about that story that reminds me of me. That's why it's my favorite, I guess.
Yeah.
Because as a little girl, I used to climb trees. Used to actually not just climb trees. Used to spend my whole day in a tree. I would climb a tree, my sister too. When we were sitting up in a tree, we would just create stories, just talk about it, pretend we are demigoddesses. Meant it was perfect because we could have many lives. Every time we played, we had created a different story. And all of this would be happening either in a tree or around a tree.
Beautiful. That's
so,
beautiful.
And this Cinderella in that movie climbs a tree, and it's kind of like myself when I was a little girl, or
right.
how I perceived myself, kind of a rat climbing trees, but dreaming of that true love.
That's beautiful. And I find it so interesting how you connect with nature, be it the tree in that form, and a lot of your paintings are inspired through nature and the elements that is offered there. So I think that's a beautiful connection. I also find it really interesting how you are raised by so many women.
Yes.
That's such a powerful part.
And very wise women. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was a cellist.
Okay.
Is retired. She doesn't play cello anymore, but she was a cellist. I was brought up with music all around me all the time. Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's no wonder that you are embracing the arts and have a relishing the beauty and the offering that it offers so deeply because you've been nurtured in it.
Yes. I
Nurtured
was.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that indicative of, let's say, your sister? Does your sister and your aunt, everybody have an element of an art that they...
Yeah, it's actually interesting what my sisters and my aunt was a singer, actually pop singer in Slovakia, well-known pop singer. My grandmother was midwife, like the old style of midwives that when they went from village to village. And my grandfather was blind. He was a piano tuner, and he made furniture and baskets, wicker baskets.
Wow.
Furniture, and you wouldn't know that he's blind, but he was.
Wow.
My older sister is a doctor of art.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so she's an artist.
Yes.
And my younger sister was a zookeeper. Now she does something else, but she's a great guitar player and singer. So all throughout the family, we are kind of creators and unusual. Nobody is doing anything in the office.
Well, you're probably one of the few families out there.